are you watching the horses? What are those? What are they doing? All right, good job, sweetie. That was you. This is our Miss Lavender girl, and she is an F1B Bernedoodle from Clementine and Theodore. She's now 8 weeks old, and she is the second smallest in the litter at 11 pounds 2 ounces. I'm expecting her adult weight to be between 30 and 45 pounds when she's fully grown. She is what we call a silver tricolored merle. So you can see that she's got, should we show them? Let's show it this way. Yep, we can go like this. There you go. Good job. You can see that she's got all the beautiful silver merling between, the silver and the black throughout most of her body. And then she's got lots of beautiful white, all the typical Bernese markings, where she's got a white muzzle, white blaze that actually goes all the way back along her head and around her neck. She does also have the white tip on the end of her tail, white paws, and a white chest. And then she's got some really nice pretty tan points on the front of her back legs, front of her front legs. She's got the Bernese eyebrows, and then also on her cheek. She's a little bit worried right now. Oh, sweet girl. She did great with her physical, same thing. She's completely, everything was normal, clear, looked good. She does have one tiny little spot, possible umbilical hernia, but it pops, I'm pushing on it right now. It pops in and out. In fact, when I was trying to show my vet, it was in at that time, so he wasn't even able to detect it. So it's one of those that is so small that there's a possibility will actually repair themselves. All rare, that sometimes does happen when they're this tiny. It's not anything to be alarmed about. It doesn't hurt her, it doesn't cause any problems. But if it doesn't take care of itself on its own, it won't continue to grow. It's still going to stay really tiny. But if it is something once she gets older that is a concern to take care of, then waiting until she's spayed is the time to do that. So it's not a separate surgery. And if that is the case, then I do reimburse up to $200 for that extra surgery to be done at that time, which more than covers it. The most I think has been usually between $80 to $150, just depending on where you are. But I really don't think it's going to be necessary. Like I said, now it's gone. It was kind of this peekaboo for a while. I thought I was not being able to tell what was there, huh? So she's good with that. Her energy level is medium. She tends to be pretty calm most of the time, with just spurts of course, when she gets excited. Right now, you can see she's being a little bit worried. So she's just hanging on to me rather than, doing her usual tail wagging and wanting to check everything out. And that's because we're in a space where they've been around the horses before, but they actually haven't been in the barn. But we came in here today so that we could do videos, because when I start talking, everybody in the puppy house starts talking and it's a little bit too loud. So it's actually quieter out here, but she's smelling everything and she's like, I don't know about this, which is typical of her personality so far. She seems like she's super outgoing with everything. That stuff, once she gets used to it, she does need just a little bit of time. She is very environmentally aware, so she definitely wants to be able to go and check stuff out first. So for instance, when she goes to the vet for the first time, or the groomers, or even to a possible new friend's house, just be okay to go and just sit with her for a while, and maybe even taking a visit before she actually is expected to do anything, just so that she can see things, get a smell for it, get used to it just a little bit before, like I said, before she's expected to do anything. And you will see, you will almost seem like you have two different dogs, because at first she'll be like this, where she's a little bit worried, just kind of watching. A lot of times what she'll do is she'll just sit beside me. She's not tucking her tail, not hiding. She just wants to stay close to me, and she'll just sit beside me and she'll just watch what's going on. And then the next time that I introduce the same thing, she's like, oh, okay, I know this. It's like she needs time to process for a little bit. Yes, which is super, super sweet. So it just makes her where she very much depends upon her people for not even necessarily reassurance, but just the knowing, yes, this is okay. What I'm asking you to do is okay. So she definitely looks to her people, and so it would be important for her to be in a home where that's understood, that don't push her too much. She does need to be pushed. It's not about, oh, we tried to shelter her from things. That's not what she needs. She just needs someone that understands she's going to need to go at her pace, take a little bit of time, and we're just going to be there and continue to be positive and, you know, and upbeat about what we're doing. So for instance, when I introduce her to stuff like bubble wrap, for instance, and I'll pop it and she'll startle initially and then come sit by me just to watch, and I'll say, what's that? What are we doing? Look at that. Oh, yay. And I'll keep on popping it. And then the next time that I do it, she'll be over there mouthing it like, oh yeah, this has always been my friend all along. I knew it wasn't going to eat me. But she just does need that initial introduction to it first, and that person with her who's letting her know, hey, this is totally okay. We don't need to be worried about it. And then she does really good. Her coat is wavy, and so it's going to get a little bit more wavy as she gets older. Maybe some big possible curls, but I wouldn't expect that too much because I think it's just going to wave up a lot more. And so her grooming needs are going to be at that 8-week, maybe plus mark, again, always depending upon how you want to keep their coat. The longer the coat, the more grooming is required with the brushing to keep the mats out, because their hair just grows like ours, and if we don't brush ours, then we start to get those mats and those dreadlocks. Our puppies will get that too. So just to keep doing that so they don't get matted, because it does hurt them, especially if they get really matted. And then it just depends on how you want to keep the coat. If you keep it really shaved down really short, then you don't have to be brushing it all the time because there's not really a lot of hair to be getting matted there. As far as her future home, we talked about, you know, just someone who understands that she's just going to need a little bit of time, but to continue to work with her and be positive and upbeat about that. I think because of her situational awareness or her environmental awareness, and then also because she's, one of the other things that we do on the temperament test is a forgiveness test to see if when something's done to them that's not right, I actually pinch between their toes. It's like the only time that I ever, you know, hurt the puppies where they're like, what was that? Why would you do that? So it's not bad. I just pinch until they pull away or whine or give me any type of indication that they're not liking it, and then I stop. But it's still something they've never had happen before. So what we're looking for is after that, do they want to go away from me and say, I can't believe you did that. You've never done that before. Why would you do that to me? That was completely wrong. Or are they all over me, licking me, wanting to lick my face, showing submissive signs because they're taking that on themselves, like, what did I do wrong? She is one of those that most of our puppies are just middle of the road with that. And she was just a little bit higher. We do a 1 to 10, and she's about a 6.5 on that. Most of our puppies are about a 5. So she wasn't really too much further than her siblings, but definitely enough to keep that in mind that, if there's, it could be just a big outburst in the house, maybe from little children, just even sheer excitement, but something that could kind of startle her and scare her. She might think that she did something wrong and she needs to fix that, which there's nothing wrong with it. That's just her personality. It's just for us humans to know that and keep in mind, oh, she's gonna feel like she needs to fix it, so that's gonna be causing her some stress. So if she's in a household where, for instance, you know, you play board games or video games or something and there's really loud, you know, the outburst about something that happened, to do that in a way around her that's like throwing her some treats or something like that when it happens, so that she doesn't get in her head that she did something wrong. She's like, okay, this is obviously I'm getting treated, so it wasn't something that I did wrong, and everything will be okay. It will just help her to be able to not get stressed if that is something that's happening on a continual basis. So with that, you know, keeping in mind little people, would be better if they were old enough that they could understand that just their sheer exuberance about life and stuff might be a little bit startling to her. And so ways to counter that so it would work for her. Yes. And that, I think we said everything about you, huh? You ready? Let's do another close-up. Come here, babe. I know. That's so weird. And that is our Lavender girl. Good job.